Hello, how to apply for an IRS IRS TCC account to e-file Form 1099 for free? Well, you'll go to IRS website, IRS.gov, and you can just tap 1099. So when you come down, you can read through it. They have e-file Form 1099 with IRS that you can click on. We can come back to it, but we can come here, reporting payment for independent contractor, and scroll down to see the two forms they have. They have the fire that you can use, but it's for more people that create their own software as well. So, and then you have the IRIS that you can use at no cost for a taxpayer to electronically file 1099 series. So it is free and pretty much does not require a software. So this, if you have a business and you pay contractor and you are going to be filed 1099, it could be an option for you to go, to create that account so that you can file 1099 for free. If you are filing 1099 through online software, I will assume they will charge you, and depend on how many of those you are going to be filing and how often every year you are going to file it, it might make sense to have an account where you can just do it by yourself. But they are due by the end of January 1099. So therefore, for this year, it will make sense to just use an online provider to file the 1099, and later on when you have time, you can come and apply for it. So when I click on that instruction that I just click on to come here, apply for IRS taxpayer portal TTC, there is some PDF that you can download and read through. I found one that was very useful up to the end, where it didn't, there was a step or two that it didn't touch base on. So otherwise that instruction will is useful. So it's good to read through it to see, and this version is again will require a software based on my understanding. And if you are going to file 1099 or 10 or more, they require you e-file it. So you can find providers that you can file it through. But I would suggest you do not complete 1099 PDF and just mail it in. It's not the way it works. So you have to request a specific 1099 form from them if you want to complete it to mail in. Otherwise, it's just better you pay a tax software to file it online. And IRS has a recommendation for those providers that you should be able to find on their website as well. And when you have time, you can just start the application. So, and when you apply, they will send you the TTC number in the mail. And once you have it, you will be able to log in and you will be able to start filing. So now let's come back to our instructions here and just go through it. So that was the link that I click on, and it took me to this page. Apply for that, And by the, again, we saw this one, but by the way, those are the two publications that I was talking about. And I think this one was the one that was useful for me to go through the process, and is fairly good. This publication, you can just search it as well, publication 5903, and just download it and read through it. But so, access IRS application for TTC. And I'm just going to go through those with you. It took me few trials, for me to start the process. And you see, once I click on that, it will take me to ID me page, sign in page, where you will sign in. And when you sign in, it will take you to your e-filing. I have e-service account already, so my process might be different from yours. I'm not entirely sure, but it will take you to this stage, and you will click on individual. And when you click on individual, it will ask you, you will click on new application, and you will select TTC 1099, pretty much 1099 series. And this is the one that I chose. There is this one as well, the fire, but we select the IRIS version. So, and then the next page is going to ask for your business EIN and your and you will put those in. You will put your business information in, all of it. So let's just, as we go in, we can just answer those questions that will come to my mind as well. But again, those are things you will come across as you are doing it. It's pretty much telling you those type of different 1099s, and that CFSF allows you, once you file your 1099, you will be able to send a copy to the state for you. Now all states are in that program. For instance, Iowa is not in it, but there are some states that are in it. But again, they will say that it is your responsibility to make sure your state has the 1099 if it's required. So, but I just click OK to accept it. So, and that is that. I don't know if it's too small for you to see it. And technically, I should have made those bigger before I record. But again, let's just get to it. So, and this is the next step. Once you get to this point, the role of who is you are registering, because you are going to register based on the business. One person might be enough, otherwise 2 people is required. So just keep that in mind, that if you have an LLC that has an escort, for instance, 2 people will be a good one, unless you are just the one person in the business. So, and here you need to choose the role of the role. So it's not a SaaS software developer. Even if you are going to migrate to that, you don't want to choose that if you do not have a SaaS software on hand to input the information in the system. I think I selected transmitter because the business I like to file it for is not the business that I register doing this. I use another business, that I use to file taxes. I use that business to register so that I can file this 1099 on behalf of my second business, if that makes sense. So therefore, I use a transmitter. If you only have the business that you are going to file for is the business, issuer might be, your um your go-to, but a transmitter is be like a third party. Again, I create Liberman Consulting LLC to file taxes originally, even though I don't file it for others. I still keep my credentials, keep them up to date, and I file returns for my businesses as well. So therefore, I went with transmitter so that I can give another option, another service option to Liberman Consulting. So, but if you only have one business and that is the business that is using contractor, maybe issuer will be the role you will select. Okay, so now it got us to this stage, and it's asked of if that's the A2A or the portal. So, and you will so we selected the transmitter, or you will select issuer, and so once we select the role, we will add it. And like the way I showed that earlier, I check that and then I check portal, not this one because this one requires a software, but I check portal, and they should be able to to explain it here as well. But again, if you are going to have software later, if you don't have the information for it right now, to complete the application, it makes sense to just go with portal. That means you are going to just log into your IRS software through IRS, and just it's like web-based, and just file the 1099. So you check that and then you click continue. So, and it is giving you the information for the software package. If in case we select a A2A, is we are going to be doing this, but we didn't, so therefore it's easier to just move to continue. So authorized users. So for the authorized users, you might want to read through it, because again, that is where 2 people minimum are required. But if you are just one person business, one person is fine. And if you are an S corp, L.L.C tax as an S corp, they say one responsible officer, is required. But in my case, I put 2 people in it, since that was the basic requirement. But again, you have that option to just put 1 person as well. So, and that is the session we are getting into. So you will choose the people here, and you add authorized delegate as well. So, and contact. So those are the 3 forms you are going to be, 3 information you are going to be putting in. So the responsible officer, we are going to work on that. So it's just pretty much going to you are going to be putting the person's name, social security, like for instance my name, my social security number, and date of birth and citizenship and email and all of those things. And then I will save that if I want this person to be used as the contact, because remember there is a delegate area as well, and there is contact. So if I want this person to be used as a contact, I will check that box. So, and then once you enter that responsible officers, you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to edit it, and then that person will be added as the contact as well. And pretty much I add my husband as well, and I had it to complete that same form, and add him as a contact as well. So let's move there, and then we can just continue. I didn't add any comments. So we have those responsible officers and then the contact, and it will give you information to review the application. And let's see here, and it will show you the name of those people and the agreement that is pending. Once you enter those things, let's say you are entering for, you know, 2 partners including you for the business, those things will be pending. Later you have to go back in to complete the application, and that's where it became a little bit tricky. When you are following their publication, they explain it up to one person, but for the second person it became a little bit tricky. So maybe that's where my presentation might be a little bit more useful to fill up just the gap. If you are reading the application, you are following the step by step, and it's a little bit now clear, maybe my presentation might fill in the gap for you. So now we have this page that will show up. It has this transmitter applied. It has the, let me make it a little bit bigger here. It has a transmitter of 1099 series, portal, and TTC information. So we don't have anything there. So that is pretty much at some point it will show, you will get to that page, and this is where the officials information that was pending, you, if you are one of those officials, once you get to this stage and you put your PIN in and accept it, is allowing you to complete the application. And you can read through it, and this PIN is like e-service PIN that you have created. So therefore that's a PIN you need to have on hand up to this point. And again, is e-file, is linked to e-file service, because so therefore if you have e-file account, you will be able to have this PIN on hand. If you do not have e-file account, I frankly don't know, at this stage what the next step would be. So, but there is a step to create a niche, so to have e-file account. But I will assume it should be able to walk you through it. The way we went through it, you can go through this route to see how your process will be. So, but there is a PIN here that needs to be added. And so we have authorized users here. So pretty much it's just, I came back inside it. I was talking about this e-service, but it is e-service account, and it comes with a PIN. And technically you have a PIN, or once you log into that account, if you don't remember the PIN, you can modify the PIN. But we have authorized users here, and that authorized users, it will show the list and will give you the information to edit them as well. But once you enter the PIN, because those officials were pending, once you enter the PIN, it will start showing that some of them signed already. So signature required. So yes. And again, it will say that the application is saved pending signatures, and those signatures will require that PIN. And once you notice it, like for me, for instance, once I entered that PIN and went through that ending process and then came back inside the account, I noticed that, that role for official for my name say I signed it, but for my husband was still pending. And that's where I didn't really know the process moving forward. And that's where the publication instruction ended. And I had to, you know, use my best judgment to help him with the process. So at this point, for my part, I will log out of it. So, but again, it's showing, the things for pretty much how it's going to be showing the page is because this has e-file option as well. Otherwise, yours will just be IRS TCC, and it will have just that row for it. But for all application section, that is what you are going to be seeing there. So when you come back inside of it, that is what you are going to be seeing there. You are going to be seeing IRS TTC there that you apply for it, because it saved the application waiting for all members to sign that you are the as officials. Those two people, you want those signatures there. Okay, so let's see. And again, is the account, and that is where you can modify your PIN. And when you log into the account, it's going to show you have that option for new application, and show you the existing application just like the way we saw it here. And that's that. So now to make my husband log in, I pretty much in some way went through the same process with him, making him clicking on those link again through IRS.gov, access IRS application for TTC, access IRS application for TTC. And once he log in, it does not just take him to enter a PIN and all those, but he needed to click on individual, just like the way I did it. So he needs to click on individual. So if you have two people, that person will have e-file account as well, e-service account as well, and log in just through that process. The ID me and all those, and log in and click on individual, and then it show applications on his page as well, and it's showing signature required. So it's showing new application, and it's showing his name for the existing application, and it's showing signature required. And technically should put this somewhere here like this. So signature required, and for this one was completed. So therefore he has the option from this point on to continue, and I made him review the information, and it came to this stage. He didn't have to put in his social security and all those. I already put those things in it. He just needed to click on that TTC application that is there, and we got to pending. That is for his name is showing pending, and he was able again to view all of those that I view on my page as well, the transmitter, the 1099s, and the TCC information. Pretty much he went through that same process, and then but it was more so for him to scroll through it than actually inputting information, because I inputted information, but when he clicks on individual, he's going to go through the same process, but just continue clicking on continue and just going through the process, and then he'll get to at this stage where he's going to ask for his PIN and to agree with, you know, the policies. And once that is done, he will have sign it. So let's see here. And I think I put this information here. So all other ROS, but the officials will enter with their own ID mean. So each one will click on individual. From that page, they will be directed to new application page with the current application, the main RO. I'm talking about the main, applicants initiated. So each RO will scroll down to see the initial application and sign with their own, e-service PIN. So that is pretty much the process we went through, and that bit of information is what was lacking in the publication that I used to guide myself to go through this process. And I find that publication to be very useful and is yes, very useful. But if you are entering it for 2 people, that is when it became a little bit confusing. So, and again, once he's done with his process, he will come back in and it will show that the application is submitted. Once everybody signed up for IRS TCC is going to show submitted pending review. Once everybody sign it, because once everybody sign it, I don't know if I did it to come back in to submit the application, or I don't really recall. But because once I completed the application and signed it, is in some way is already submitted, but they say it was saved pending signatures. So once everybody signed it, once I create the application and sign, I have that tracking number already, but it was saved waiting all the signatures. And once all the officers, in this case my husband, log in with his own ID and enter his own PIN as the way to sign it, it was in some way submitted pending review. So from that point on, we just have to wait. And contrary to what they say, I received the letter, the TTC letter in the email earlier than expected. I don't know, because when I did it, it was not too busy for them, for the office. I'm not entirely sure. But you'll get that TCC number in the mail. And once you got it in the mail, there is not much you can do other than, you just come here and check it, and you'll notice that you have that IRS, it has been in some approved. So you will get that letter. When I got that letter, though, I was not able to log in to file right away, because it was in December. That portal was not available. So it was at the beginning of January that it became available for me to e-file. So I'm going to record a video to show how you can file 1099, specifically 1099 NEC, to using IRIS TCC portal, and so that you can see the process as well. But that is, pretty much how you will apply for IRS IRIS TCC account to be able to file 1099 online with IRS for free for your business. Thank you so much for your time, and you do not need a tax software for it. We thank you very much for all your comments, and thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and ninasub.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And filing your own business tax return is one way to save money for your business by keeping your business expenses low. And at the same time, you'll know the process and documents you need to have on hand to be able to file those returns accurately while keeping your stress level low. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your business. Happy New Year and best wishes, best New Year wishes for you and your business. Thank you.